love you, Omar.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
There we go. We're off and running. Hey, so you guys have this Atlantic Years box set coming out in June, and it's the whole BMG reissue like they did with Motley, and they've done that with a bunch of other bands and stuff. What's the extent of the involvement with the classic lineup? I mean, were you guys involved hands-on this whole thing?
Yeah, actually, I was quite surprised because, because I've been trying to get the OG guys together to try and do some, final, hurrahs, and that can't go down, but at least everybody put in their 2 cents for the box set, and that was kind of cool, and ironically, it's the 40-year anniversary of the band, 1983, 2023.
Right. So, I mean, I think, obviously looking forward to picking that up. I'm a CD guy myself, but, I like the packaging for the vinyl. I mean, it's got a lot of cool goodies in there.
Oh, the only thing they missed was, making that the vinyls red, white, and blue.
Right. Yeah. Now, as far as that, I mean, because like you said, obviously fans have been keeping tabs on Anniversaries, and like you said, this is creeping up on the 40th for Ratt. How much pressure is this going to be, now that you're going to release, or the label's going to release this box set? There's probably going to be some pressure from maybe the fans and critics and stuff to maybe reassemble the band. No. Nothing.
I'll make it clear right now. No pressure with nothing. There's nothing. Everything's copacetic. I mean, the pre-order on the box set's amazing. It's gonna do its own thing. I'm doing interviews. I think it's great.
Right.
In support of it. I know our drummer Blotzer is doing some things, and hey, it is what it is. You got a couple guys standing and digging in, and it's all good. As for any kind of reunion, no. That's been tried, and it's I ain't gonna beat a dead horse or a dead rat. I have a great solo career, happening that I established back in 1992 with Arcade. So I'm good. I've been meeting some great fans, and in the last couple years, 2.5, 3 years that I've been out there on my own, and life is good in my Ratt and roll world here.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know I saw you on the cruise, so it'd been a bit since I'd seen you, because the last time I saw you, you still had Chris Hager in the band, and you were in Portland, Oregon. So it'd been a bit, but wow, talk about what a lineup you have as far as the band and stuff.
Yeah, the band is turned into, has really developed and progressed into, a lean, mean fighting machine and delivering the goods. So I don't have a problem at all. Once in a while, I need to pull somebody else in to take care of business. If my other drummer wants to do something, I'm like, sure, do what you got to do. I have a lot of rad bastards who have been in my band.
Right. Wow. And the one thing about though is that just the rhythm section you had. You got Matt was playing bass, right? Who was it? Will Hunt playing drums?
Will Hunt on drum.
Jesus, that was amazing.
And and Matt Thorne's back in the fold.
Okay.
He's been back for a bit on bass, which is great because he was in Ratt back in 1982, early on with me, and it's great. It's a good thing that he's back. And then I've got the newcomer, which is Johnny Monaco,
Right.
out here from Vegas, and my right-hand guy, Eric Ferentinos, who's been with me for over 20 years now.
Right. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know how Johnny was going to fit in, but I mean, he slots in there pretty well too. I mean, just overall the band, pretty tight.
Yeah, I tend to like the loosely tight.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a technical guy like Johnny,
Right.
who plays every nuance on the record, like note to note, and then you've got Eric, who plays it tight, but he's more of a theatrical delivery guy. He's
Right.
from the '90s school of rock, to where the rest of us, except Johnny, are old school guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So how was the experience as far as playing the cruise this go round?
It was quite different. It was much more relaxing. When the last time Ratt did it, it was, it wasn't our best gig, and the band was totally disarray, and to me it wasn't even the real band, because you got these other guitar players, and for me it's hard to think the band's Ratt is being represented right when people don't even know who these fucking guys are, and they could be the greatest players on earth, but it's irrelevant to how I feel and what I need to get the best out of me. If I had the original group, oh, well, shit, all hell breaks loose. But, the bottom line, and I'm telling everybody, with this box set, it's important because it's the five of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's our period, period in history of Ratt, the five of us. And without Ruben, I knew it back then, when Detonator was happening and everything was falling apart or on its way to literally imploding, I knew it was over, and there was no reason to, beat it up any more than it already was. So, that's when I pulled out and started Arcade with Fred Corey. I had a great major label deal, released 2 good records, and moved on,
Yeah, those were great records, and it was a departure from what you were doing with Ratt. It was more harder edge, you know what I mean, more current and stuff, and it worked pretty well.
Yeah. I listened to everything, new bands, old bands, 60s, 70s, you name it. I am a fan of music, and always will be, not just like this guy in a band, who writes and sings and that happened to have some great success in the 80s. I'm embracing this whole Sunset Strip experience that we've created here at the Top Fuel compound, because it was such an important era in music. People kind of rivet still, but they're taking it a little bit more seriously now. I don't care what you call it, hair metal, 80s rock, whatever you want to call it. It made a mark, and I'm just embracing it, getting it out there and working it, because it was a very important period in history, music history.
Right. Or classic rock.
Oh, of course, classic rock. Did I ever think we would be classic rock? No. I mean, look, we're doing Geico commercials. I'm doing a Zamboni commercial. Our song is being used every which way but loose. It's a brilliant thing, and people are taking notice in the industry that, wow, it's this era of music is still going down. Even actually, it's going down big, look at the stadium tours, the success of these 80s groups that are happening, these festivals with these 80s groups. It's got a good place right now. It's in a good place, it just has to be developed and nurtured by the artists 80s artists themselves and embrace it. A lot of 80s bands totally gave up on themselves in the 90s, which you should never do, because, hey, no pun intended, what comes around goes around,
right.
you know, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
You know, who would have thunk that it would be almost as big as ever in 2023?
Right. I know you mentioned, you know, by the time you guys started working on Detonator, you kind of knew things were kind of over and stuff. You did have, which is kind of interesting, because Schenker was also on the cruise, and did you get a chance to check out one of his sets at all during the time?
Neil, I tried, but I didn't get a chance to. But we did a photo op for the people on the cruise,
right.
and we talked and chatted, and it was great to hook up again. It's been a long time. Yeah, he did the Detonator tour when Robin you know, wasn't able to, and he did MTV Unplugged,
right.
you know, so he did leave an indelible mark with Ratt, even for the short time he was in it.
How did you connect with him? Because that is, you know, I think that's around the time that he was doing like Contraband, which I think that also included Blotzer, you know, so was there a connection there, or how did he come in?
That was a clusterfuck, I gotta tell you right now. Everything about that was destined to implode. You know, our manager at the time, Kovac, who happens to manage Motley now, or even then, had this wacky idea, I'm going to create an all-star group. And hey, guess what? I'm going to commission that too, and they're going to open up the Ratt headlining Detonator tour with those bands. So it was kind of a self-serving manager commission thing more than it was like, well, let's create something really cool. All it did was disturb every band who was playing, because I wouldn't want to go out there and sing 3 bands before you're doing a headlining set. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just didn't make sense to me then, and it makes really no sense now. Why? You know, I know why. It's called commission.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and he found a way to you know, coerce everybody into doing something. You know, no diss on the guy, business is business. But I mean, when you're putting your artists, and he managed a few of those other artists too, which is even crazier. You know, he managed Vixen or one of those bands.
Right.
Okay, LA Guns, you know, he managed. Ratt, he managed. So it was like, whoa, you know, what is... I mean, back then, I was concentrating on what we were trying to do, but at the same time, looking at this thorn in my side going, oh, I don't think this is going to go down well. And it did not. It did not. You know, it's like giving it away, you know. It's like having a Christmas package, and you already know what's inside.
Right.
You got to open it up anyway. You're like, hey, that's exciting, but it's not.
Right. That's a good way to put it. And I know, didn't Ratt cover a UFO tune on the Japanese tour?
We did every night in the U.S. tour. That was the best thing about, you know, having Michael Schenker aboard, because I'm a huge UFO fan from, God, Robin turning me on to them in 1978.
Oh, wow.
You know, 9. So I was like, fuck, I want to sing Lights Out. I want to sing, you know, any UFO song. I mean, there's the guy right there, Michael Schenker. Holy shit. You know, I'd look over one side, there's Warren, and then there's, unfortunately, no Robin, but Michael Schenker. You know, it was like, yow.
Wow. Awesome.
So it was pretty exciting, that whole point. I mean, me jamming that song was like the highlight of my night, because things were just so on a bummer scale, you know.
Right.
And I think we all knew it. We were just trying to get through it, and you know, it's like, put on the fake smile, you know, put on the presentation, but really what's happening is a clusterfuck, you know.
Yeah. What's the status of the reissue of the EP? Because I know you had mentioned a handful of times that I've seen on either read on interviews or viewed on YouTube and stuff that you have the rights to that, and it's going to come out. Fill us in on that.
Well, yeah, soon enough. I would say at the end, towards the end of the year, I want to really release it because it's Robin and my record, actually. Even though it's a Ratt record, the writing and the business side of it is ours. So, I decided, well, once we get control of it, then we'll be able to release it because people want it so bad. And it hasn't been available in fucking 100 years. And it actually came out on CD in Japan in 1985. And that was it. And then it kind of disappeared, bootlegged to death. Yeah. And, so I'm going to re-release it, in its natural, beautiful form, 1983 form, on vinyl and limited edition, and that's it. Give it to the people, So that'll happen at the end of the year.
Okay.
Totally.
So the just the exact release, no additional anything.
No, nothing for nothing.
Okay.
Just the record as we released it, and it might sound a little better.
Okay.
That's probably all we're going to do is make it sound, up to date.
Sure. Nice.
There's different kinds of plastic.
Yeah, right.
That groove, if you widen the groove or shorten the groove, it makes a whole lot of sense,
Right. One thing I was going to ask you about, because I know a couple years, probably still somewhat in the middle of the whole pandemic thing, I think you had released a single, you worked with Beau Hill again, and then
Sure.
I think the plan was you were going to drop a bunch of these things and then eventually compile them and release them as an album. What happened with that? Because I do remember, I think you were on Trunk and you debuted the tune you had worked with Beau Hill with. Catch us up to speed on that.
It was a compilation of Ratt unreleased songs, you say?
I think you had released a solo tune.
My solo.
Yeah, solo tune that you had worked with Beau Hill. And then I think at that point, your thought was that you were going to record a bunch of songs, just, release them sporadically and then eventually just compile them and put out a record.
Yeah, that's just what happened. It was just a better decision just to release a full album.
Yeah.
I'm still geared up, ready to go and get in the studio for my 6th solo record. It's been pretty much ready for the last 2 years, and I have to update it every fucking month. We're writing songs like crazy,
right.
Eric gives me these songs and I'm just like, oh my God, we got to get to this. Besides all the songs we written when I was ready to do it. And then the pandemic happened, the big flu with
right.
COVID, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But so that's what happened there. So we're waiting. There's a lot going down right now. It's all about the box set, though. And as I'm looking at it, I just got it yesterday. It is. I'm very excited about this because, like I say, it's the 5 guys, the 5 albums. Ironically, it's the true history of the group at its best, And here it is, with a bunch of groovy things, presents inside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your last couple solo records, man, they've been awesome. So they've been surprisingly great. It's great when some of the classic artists release some pretty strong material, at the present time without bending and becoming too modern.
Sure. Yeah. And then, you know what? Like I say, I'm up to date with what's going down musically and in everywhere. So, I stay true to what I grew up on, the 70s type of approach to what I write, even though I'm writing it in the 80s, 90s, 2023. But yeah, the last two, it's a progression. The records got better and better. View to a Thrill, the last one, I think, was probably the best solo record I've ever done.
Right.
Unfortunately, the label didn't do much, which is really strange because Smash did so well. And it was the same label, Frontiers, and it was, they didn't do a video for it. And, if you're not going to do it, let me do it.
Right.
I can do that in a second. And here at Top Fuel Records, I can take that, we can do amazing things. We're very independent, self-sufficient. And, yeah, I was quite surprised they just dropped the ball, assuming, the other one did this, so this one will do that too. No, I wanted it to do great, not just okay or good, because Smash was great, and then we were just on tip-top form for View to a Thrill. I mean, I love that record. So many people love that record, and it's a crime that the attention wasn't given. There really weren't interviews or anything. So anyway, move on. It's about the box set.
Right. Just real quick on solo stuff, though. When you do release new solo material, that's going to be under your own imprint?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
All of my stuff is.
Okay.
Since 1995, when I created Top Fuel Records, I knew the whole industry was up for a change, and it was happening fast.
Yeah. So
I decided then, I want to be in control of my stuff. I want to license my own stuff and do what I want to do. I'm no dummy. I've been in this business too long to not know what the in and outs are,
Can you think of a deep cut from the first, 5 Ratt albums that you think is worthy of people's attention?
A deep cut. Well, if you really want to go deep, we actually recorded a song I've been talking about that I wanted to get on the box set. It was called Reach for the Sky.
Okay.
Yeah, Robin and I, and actually Mark Tureen co-wrote it when he was sitting in for Warren in 1983, and we recorded it with all of the Out of the Cellar songs, and it's just sitting there, and it's an amazing fucking song, and I really wanted to get it out on the box set, but that didn't happen, and not for any weird reason. So I'm going to get that out there. But that's, talk about a deep cut. There's a deep cut. The other songs are just the best of what we got, and the best songs that, our new producer at the time, Bo Hill, decided was going to be on the record. Right.
So was Reach for the Sky, the song, ever in contention to be on the actual record?
No, it was for Out of the Cellar. Yes.
So it sounds like then you guys probably cut a version with the classic lineup then?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Totally. It sounds amazing. Oh yeah. And it's here. I got it. Like I say, I wanted it on this bad, but it didn't happen. I don't know why. There was no holdups with doing it. I just think that the BMG and them just wanted to direct drive the records and those songs. It would have been Where Nobody Writes for Free. That single that's in there.
Right.
The box set, that would have been it. Which would have been brilliant. Oh my God. Wow. But hey, shit happens. So,
Yeah, it does.
It's still a great box set.
Yeah, oh no, for sure. I got a couple more things and I'll cut you loose. Thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thinking back, I know Infestation, I think it's a great record. I don't know what you think, but now having a few years removed from its being released, what's your overall thoughts on it now?
Well, my thoughts have always been the same with those records, the three actually. When I got the band back together in 96, 7, I think, for Collage.
Ah, yeah.
I did that for business reasons, and that was probably more Ratt than those other 2 records because, again, without Robin, it's not Ratt. That's just a fact. It's just the case, and, we always do the best we can, and that's all we can do. And people wanted a record, and, we get in there and write. There were some great songs on there. I mean, look, Cavazo and I wrote the first 2 singles for that. I mean, it was, which is trip because it wasn't Warren and Stephen, the guys,
right.
So that kind of tripped me out. But, like I say, without Robin, it's never going to be Ratt on records. And we can get out there and take care of business, and it's as close as you're going to get, and people will dig it. But, my sentiments are not going to change because he was such an important part of the band, and it cannot be overlooked or just brushed aside because, they've got Cavazo or they've got Schenker or they've got, I mean, like I say, we wrote some great songs, Cavazo and I, while he was, stinting in the band, but it's not Robin, and that's it.
Yeah. All right.
We did the best we could. They're great. They're good records. I do love "Eat Me Alive." I mean, there's songs I really like.
That's a great one. Last question, Stephen. Do you have a memorable Spinal Tap moment that transpired on stage, and how did you bounce back from it?
Oh my God! I think. I think every band has had plenty of those Spinal Tap moments. It's so funny how seriously some musicians took that movie,
right.
And it was so tongue in cheek. Moments, there's too many. But you know what though? Everybody, even to this day, still has that "Hello, Cleveland,"
right.
moment where you get fucking lost.
Right.
There's never the proper, never proper directions to, get to where you're going on stage. It's fucking hysterical. So that'll always happen. Always.
Yeah. Hey, man. Thank you for your time. So we'll plug the box set. We'll plug the interview, get it out to the PR folks, and know that you did your job and you did it well. And hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, I thank you very much, brother.
All right. Take care.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.